He came to fix her jet. She found out he designed it. People inside the private airport hangar laughed when Marcus Jennings, a black mechanic, pulled up in his old truck. Through the large windows of the VIP terminal, rich executives stared in disbelief as he unloaded his worn-out tools. "A mechanic? Seriously?" one man said to the group. "I thought we requested the best technician for Mrs. Evans' jet." Richard Hastings, director at Evans Aerospace, shook his head in disgust. "He looks like he came from a roadside repair shop." Marcus heard the words. He'd heard that kind of talk before, but he stayed quiet. What none of them knew was that Marcus had saved more aircraft than any of them combined. He had over 15 years of experience, a degree in engineering, and had won national awards. But in their eyes, he was just the help. The private jet, a $65 million Gulfstream, needed to take off in 2 hours. "Our team can't find the issue," the supervisor said. "If you don't fix it fast, we're calling the Atlanta group." Marcus walked toward the plane, ignoring the eyes on him. But one person watched with real focus, Alexandra Evans, the billionaire CEO and owner of the jet. She stood tall, dressed in a designer suit, with a stare that cut through the noise. "Let him work," she ordered sharply. She didn't flinch at the mocking looks from her staff. "How much time do you need?" she asked Marcus as she approached. "It depends on the problem. You have 1 hour," she said, checking her expensive watch. "Impress me," Marcus got to work. It wasn't long before he discovered the real issue, a serious pressurization system failure that other techs had completely missed. If the jet had taken off, it would have lost air pressure in the air. Everyone on board could have died. Marcus fixed it in 30 minutes. As he cleaned up his tools, Alexandra came back. "How long would it have taken the others to find that?" she asked. "They wouldn't have," Marcus answered. "The plane would have crashed first." She stared at him with an intense look, then said, "Come with me." Everyone in the terminal watched, confused, as the CEO personally walked Marcus through restricted sections of the airport. She took him into a private office. "What's your full name?" she asked. "Marcus Jennings." She typed something on her tablet. Her eyes widened. "MJ, the initials on the G7 pressurization system used in her company's jets." The system had brought in $428 million over 5 years. The man credited for it? Richard Hastings. "You designed this system?" she asked slowly. Marcus nodded. "I submitted the blueprint 5 years ago. Days later, they fired me." "Why didn't you fight back?" she asked. "No one wanted to listen to a black technician. I still needed to pay bills." Just then, Hastings barged into the office, clearly nervous. "What's he still doing here? I thought the repair was finished." "We're talking about the G7 system," Alexandra replied calmly. "The G7? He scoffed. "That mechanic had nothing to do with it, really? Because I found the original designs, initials, MJ, and emails from you, asking HR to fire him for technical incompetence." The emails are dated 3 days after he submitted the design. Suddenly, a second woman walked in, Dr. Sophia Chun, the company's lead lawyer. "I've confirmed it," she said, placing a file on the table. The designs belonged to Marcus. Hastings took credit. Hastings froze. "You're suspended," Alexandra said. "Hand your badge to security." That meeting changed everything. 6 months later, Marcus Jennings was no longer a repair guy. He was director of innovation, leading the same division that once threw him out. His hidden recordings, original documents, and code had proved he was the real mind behind the G7 system. Alexandra had even uncovered a larger pattern over the past decade. Other Black and Latino employees had faced similar treatment. Instead of just suing, Marcus suggested something bigger. With Alexandra's support, the company created a fund to repay engineers whose ideas had been stolen, started a training center in Marcus's old neighborhood, launched scholarships for future inventors from poor communities. A year later, the company introduced a new fuel-saving system, helping the planet and earning billions. The event was hosted at the new Community Tech Center, named after Marcus's mother, a cleaning lady who sacrificed everything to give her son a future. "You know what's funny?" Alexandra said with a smile. If Hastings had just shared the credit, he'd still have a job today. When asked later why he didn't just walk away, Marcus answered simply, "It was never about revenge, it was about respect, and giving the next generation the opportunities I never had." If this story of truth, justice, and resilience inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more stories of people who rise above hate and help build something bigger than themselves.